Welcome to SHOTBOX. My name is Greg Stroud, and today I want to talk about how you can use SHOTBOX, your portable collapsible light studio, to help you quickly and effectively digitize those old family letters, certificates and documents, that have been in boxes around your home for many, many years. This is a small sampling of what we found at our grandmother's house many years ago. She lived in the same home for about 50 years, and so we have hundreds of these letters that have been in old shoe boxes, and we've wondered what to do with for years. Now, interestingly enough, when it comes to scanning or digitizing things, most families first think of photographs. And you can't blame them, can you? Because this is a way we sort of get up close and personal with our ancestors, and it's just very visually enticing and exciting to see them. And certainly we don't want to lose those images. We really sort of bond with our ancestors when we have some wonderful images like that. But I'm going to suggest to you that letters can be far more helpful for the family historian. As you can imagine, when there was no telephones, certainly no texting or cell phones in those days, then the only way to really share information about families was through letters. And so they're chock full with information about who's getting married and sadly who passed away, who's going to have their third baby, and how Uncle Tom got hurt in the lumber mill so now he works at the factory, and we just got a new car, a 1947 Rambler. All of those things are contained within these letters, and so very important to capture them. But once again, when you try to scan something, it can take a long time. With SHOTBOX, it's very easy. Let me demonstrate. I'm going to pick out the letter. I would encourage you to go through and prioritize the letters in your collection so that you do the most important ones first. This one's dated, it looks like October 1911. And you can just look at the how wonderful the old handwriting is there. I'm going to go ahead and put it right in the SHOTBOX. I'm lined up here. I've got my cell phone on the top. That's the beauty of SHOTBOX. You can digitize these images with the SHOTBOX and your cell phone. I've connected our aperture cable. It comes with many of our kits so that I can just take the picture with the cable. I touch the screen just to make sure it's focused, press the button, and I just scan that document, if you will. I've digitized it. I'm going to go ahead and turn it over so I get the back side as well, because often there's information on the back that's important to family historians. So once I've done that, I'm going to go ahead and open it up and take out the letter itself. Now, this letter is for over 100 years been in that envelope. And so as you can imagine, it doesn't want to lay flat. So I'm going to go ahead and pull off the first page. And I'm using a couple of weights. These are some things that I've found around my shop that I use. And I just put them in there to carefully, so that I can hold down the letter to keep it flat. So I'm going to go ahead and set one on one side and one on the other. And now I'm prepared to have to take a nice image because it's laying flat. Once again, I'm going to go ahead and turn my phone so that my digital camera has the right aperture. I touch the screen to make sure it's focused, and I take the picture. Really straightforward. Pull those off. I'm going to do the next one just like that. Open it up. And I'm being very careful. My wife would be, why are you licking your fingers and then touching that old document? But we won't tell her, okay? So put that down there. Some people like to use gloves when they're handling old documents, although most archives across the country now suggest that you just wash your hands very well because gloves tend to cause other problems. Once again, I've got it lined up and I'm ready. I go ahead and use the aperture cable to take the picture. That's how fast I'm able to do that. Now, here's a tip you might want to consider. I went out shopping at Office Depot, and I found this wonderful magnetic board. It's 14 by 14 inches in diameter, so it fits perfectly inside the SHOTBOX. Now, what I like about it, and I'm going to put the label up close so you can kind of see the brand. We don't market these, but it is something that would be easy for you to find at an office supply store. So the SHOTBOX base is about 15 inches by 15 inches. This is, the board is 14 by 14, so I think this will work well. I'm going to go ahead and take it apart right there. I don't need that, so I'm going to pull that off, take that off. Label comes off here. Sometimes the light on SHOTBOX times out if it feels like it's getting warm. This has been on for a while. I'm going to turn it back on, so we have that. Now I have, this comes with some cool little magnets, but I kind of like these magnets here. They're a little bit, I bought these down at a 5 and dime, and they're like little stone magnets. You could also pick up I got these over at Michael's craft store. You know, you can pick up magnets just about anywhere. But with this being able to go into the SHOTBOX like that, I can now take the letter that I was just talking to you about, put it down inside, and now I'm going to use magnets to hold it in place. And that makes it a little easier to hold it down and get the picture that I want. I'm using the stone magnets here. I like those a little better because they're easier to take off and on, and I can go ahead and move them easily. Once I get it just the way I want though, then it makes it very easy to put that in. Now once I line up on my, once again, line up on my cell phone camera, make sure it's focused, press the aperture cable, and I've just taken that picture. Now sometimes you have, of course the difficult thing with this letter is that it's really been folded that way for some time. Other letters don't have that problem. They're just pretty much, they're easy to open up and to lay out. So that's an old, yeah, okay. So as I said, when it comes to digitally capturing documents and certificates, old letters and deeds with SHOTBOX, you can just use the bottom of the SHOTBOX, if you will, and some weights to hold down the documents. These are a couple of square steel weights that I found around my shop here. Or you can invest in a whiteboard, something like this, 14 by 14 inch magnetic whiteboard. Let me just show you how easy it is to utilize that. Here's an old document it's dated 1866. So it's really quite old, and it's dedicated to the Sisters of Benevolence and Good Deeds. One of my ancestors apparently was a member of that. Obviously, I want to be very careful with this document. I don't want to put it through some sort of a automatic scanner. It would be shredded. But with this little board I picked up, I can easily attach some magnets here to the top that won't harm the page, and kind of move it around so I have it centered. I'm going to kind of put a few going down the sides. And keep in mind that I can be doing this at my Aunt Lucy's house, if you will, because she doesn't want it to leave the house. She doesn't trust that it will come back, and I think we all can appreciate that. What's even more interesting is that I wouldn't want to take it out of the house. I don't want to be responsible for it. Once I have it laid out on the board like that, look how easy it is to just slide it in. Go ahead and use my cell phone camera. I'm going to go ahead and zoom in on it as large as I can to make it just perfect. Use the aperture cable that we talked about earlier and snap the picture. It's that easy. I also have some other documents laid out here from our family. I'm going to go ahead and pull that off. I've now digitally captured that image. See how fast that was? It's just remarkable, and I can fold it up and carefully put it back the way it was before. Here is an old Western Union telegram. It says, Mr. and Mrs. Edwin G. Fraser, congratulations on your golden wedding anniversary. Kind of falling apart there, so I'm just going to carefully put that like that. Again, using the magnets makes it really easy. Plus, I'm able to work on it outside of the box so that I can carefully, look at that, just falling apart right in front of me. And then apparently it says, wishing you all the best health and happiness, Hugh. So apparently Hugh was a friend of theirs. Again, put it inside there, zoom in on it as much as I wish, click it with the aperture cable, and I just captured that image. Go to my next item, pulling this out very easily. Have an old quick claim deed. You know, land deeds, land records are very helpful for the family historian to track down who lived where and the address, the dates, and that can be very exciting. Again, I just slide it in like that. I'm going to zoom in on it, click to focus, and snap the picture. Digitize it, as it were, that fast. I'm going to go ahead and open this one up. You know, these quitclaim deeds could be quite large. Let's see how large this one is. You know, what's remarkably helpful is that it gives the exact whereabouts of the land. and the people who they bought it from, Lemuel B. Moore and Mary B., his wife. So again, I'm just going to kind of use those magnets to hold it down the way I want to. And it's going to pretty much take up the whole board. Look at that. And now I've got it laying flat, and slide it in. Line up my camera just the way I want it. Again, once it's focused, I take the picture. And that's a digital image. That's the equivalent of a scan. That is, it is now something that I can easily share. It's a file. I can share it with my family. I can any number of ways capture that and share it. Again, here's the back side. Lining it up the way I want to, and using the aperture cable, I capture the back side. Sometimes we have items, as you're aware, that we put in plastic to protect them, and we would prefer not to have to take them out of the plastic. Here is a couple things in plastic. Here is, I'm going to go ahead and pull this one. This is a marriage certificate from the 6th day of October 1920, excuse me. You can kind of see that it has got some creases in it, so I'm just going to lay it flat like that. Use my magnets on the outside. Put it in the SHOTBOX. Now you can kind of see from the angle there that there's some glare on the plastic. What we've included with our SHOTBOX portable light studios are these magnetic glare shields. They just slide in underneath like that, and they connect over the lights. Got to line them up just right. And what they do is they disperse the light so the light isn't directly glaring on the document. And now I'm able to see perfectly the image. I go ahead and enlarge it and make sure that I've got it good and well focused. And again, use my aperture cable and capture the image. Again, that fast. Now you can probably imagine that because SHOTBOX is portable, it's designed to take with you and carry it on. It's carry-on luggage on the plane. When you're traveling and visiting family, it's very easy to bring it in and say, let's just get out those old letters and those old clippings. This is a newspaper clipping of the death of one of my ancestors, and it was obviously old and yellowing. I have it in plastic now, but I can, without taking it out of the plastic, I can put the whole item there. Again, I'm going to line up my camera so that it has the best aspect ratio, if you will, and then touch that to focus and take the picture. Again, I just digitized, that image. So, this for $15, a board like this is a pretty good value. It's not like it's a real expensive piece, but it can sure save you a lot of time. Here's a tax receipt from 1870, and I'm going to go ahead and just put those magnets like that. 1872 looks like Mr. and Mrs. Francis Fraser, and I'm going to put that down. Shows how much they paid and where the dwelling was. Again, put that in like that. I'm going to turn my camera so because it's wider like that, it's kind of easier. And I press that aperture cable, and I have captured that digitally. Isn't it remarkable how quickly with the SHOTBOX that you can do these things that would normally in a scanning situation could take you hours or even days. On top of it, you never have to take it out of the home, which is so important because on the one hand, taking it out of the home means I can go somewhere else to try to make copies of some sort, but it also means that I'm responsible for any damage, and that makes me very uncomfortable. Once again, with the glare shields there, I'm not getting any glare off of that. I don't have to take the document, the certificate, it's a birth certificate. I don't have to take it out of its plastic sleeve, take the picture, and I've just digitally captured it. So at the end of the day, it's just a wonderful tool, $15 to help you to digitize those old family documents and certificates, and have a good time doing it. I'm Greg with SHOTBOX. Have a great day.